see as much as we can.
Richard,
Oh, that looks better.
yeah, I was just wondering, you mentioned...
Could you wave wherever you are? Okay, thanks.
You mentioned religion being a byproduct of machinery and sort of we're seeing a rise of atheism at the moment. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are long-term with regards to rational thinkers that have to be a dying breed if there are slightly pressures away from being a free thinker. If there's some sort of genetic predisposition around being a believer or being or rational thought.
I think that's too pessimistic. I think you're being too pessimistic. Of course, it's only my guess. I like to think that audiences like this show evidence that if you actually can get to people and talk to them, there are quite a lot of people that you can convince to be rational. I think if you're moved to pessimism by the thought that we have at any particular time political movements which seem to be gaining power. I mean, we've had 8 years of Bush theocracy in America, for example, which naturally was very discouraging. But I think if you take the broad sweep of history, you're bound to expect a kind of sawtooth. If you've got a general trend upwards, we're going to get a kind of sawtooth like that. It's a bit like saying that because we happen to have a cold winter, therefore global warming is nonsense, that kind of thing. I mean, you don't want to take too much notice of short-term, high-frequency changes.
What I was thinking was there might be a general trend. Sorry? What I was thinking was perhaps the birth rate of people in this room might be lower than that of any particular religion.
Well, that is a worry, but bear in mind that assumes the iniquitous assumption that children inherit the religion of their parents. Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth in that. But I think that's one of the things we've really got to try to work on, is to try to break that cycle, whereby the assumption that if members of religion X have a higher birth rate than people who think Y, that means that people who think X is going to increase. And that, if you think about it, that is an additional assumption. The additional assumption that children inherit the religion of their parents. And if we could do anything to stop that, I think education would be the real focal point of the